My name is Helene Cooper, and I've just written a book called The House at Sugar Beach. It's about my growing up in Liberia, West Africa, and my decision 23 years after my family ran away to go back and find the sister that we left behind. I grew up in Africa, but I grew up in what would probably be described as the most American African country that there is, because Liberia was founded by freed blacks who came from the United States. And they basically established the same sort of society that they had left. The colonists who had come from America were the upper class, and the native Liberians were the lower class, and they worked for these people, and they were the servants, and they were the farmers who tended the land. My family was descended from the colonists, so we were the upper class. We were in the government, we were part of the ruling elite. When I was 7 years old, my parents went to the native Liberians and found me a sister. They adopted an 11-year-old girl. Her mom was quite happy to bring her to our house because her family was poor, and it was a chance for her to get 3 square meals a day. Eunice came to our house, and we grew up as 2 African girls playing the games, going to the beach, whispering late at night, telling stories all the way up until I was 14. In 1980, a group of enlisted soldiers, all native Liberians, overthrew the government, executed the president, executed my cousin who was the Secretary of State. My family ran away right after the coup and left Eunice. In a lot of ways, my book, The House at Sugar Beach, is the story of how we were raised and grew up together as sisters, and how we were separated because of the coup. After moving to the US, I became a journalist. I spent my entire time telling other people's stories. I traveled around the world, and every time I met somebody and they found out about what had happened to my family and how I grew up, they said, "Why don't you write this story?" And for a long time, I felt that I couldn't write it. It was too much, it was too complicated. I didn't even know where to begin to start. And I reached a point in 2003 when I was in Iraq that everything sort of exploded. I was a reporter. We were somewhere near Nasiriyah during the invasion, and my Humvee was run over by a volcano tank that was behind me. I'm lying there thinking, if I'm gonna die in a war, I should die in a war in my own country. I should be in Liberia. And I realized that I'd been running away from my own past, from my childhood, from a lot of my history that I had too much trouble dealing with, that I didn't want to try to make sense of. And that was the moment that I decided that I had to go home. And it was in the going home that I realized it was time for me to write about it.